A very warm and pleasant good morning to all of you. This is Abhay from 9A and today I am here to conduct a debate show along with my team members Rachit Raj and Sweta Kumari. Sweta is the first speaker, Rachit is the second speaker and I am going to perform the role of anchor. But before getting started, I would like to thank our social science faculty Danish Azam sir for giving us this great and interesting idea. So now let's start the debate. Hello one and all, this is Abhay and I welcome you in our exclusive debate show. Our today's topic of discussion is liberty can be achieved through peace. I would like to thank Rachit Raj and Sweta Kumari who have joined us in the virtual newsroom for having discussion over this topic. Sweta is in the favor of this topic whereas Rachit is against this topic. So I am firstly going to Sweta and after that I will go to Rachit. So Sweta, kindly put your views in front of our viewers. Why do you think that liberty can be achieved by peace?
If liberty really means something, it means the right to tell people what they don't want to hear. Hi, this is Sweta Kumari and I would like to thank our SSC teacher Danish Azam sir who gave me an opportunity to take part in this debate competition, and I would like to thank Abhay also who gave me the chance to speak in the favor of the topic liberty can be achieved by peace. So coming back to the debate. You must have heard the name of Camille Desmoulins. He was a great and famous French philosopher and a revolutionary. He was having a great part in French Revolution. So he believed that liberty is just like a child who needs love and care and had to go through the path of discipline to get its maturity. He believed that it's love, happiness, reason, equality and freedom to the declaration of right. In short, he believed that every man and woman are born with their right and there is no need for the violence to gain their right because they are already having their rights.
As Sweta suggested, according to Desmoulins, liberty means peace and happiness and it can also be achieved through peace. So, where is the need of violence in context of liberty? Rachit, how will you clarify it?
First of all, I want to thank you Abhay for calling me in this debate and also to our SST teacher Danish sir who gave us this drastic opportunity. Now let's head back to the debate. It is very contradictory that peace is enough to achieve liberty. And Sweta's statement is even more contradictory. As Desmoulins was when admitted to the Parliament of France, he could not do well as he had a violent manner. In the letters written by him to his father, he told that he was excited and in favor with the formation of National Assembly. He also showed sympathy with the sans-culottes initially. And he was also in affiliation with the Jacobin Club. So how can you say that he was non-violent? If we come back to India also, we see many brave freedom fighters like Rani Lakshmibai, Bhagat Singh, etc. who took arms against the Britishers. Why did they do so? Were they wrong?
As Rachit said, Desmoulins, on the basis of whose ideas, Sweta, you were saying that liberty could be achieved by peace. But here Desmoulins himself had relation with violence. So how will you account for it?
As Rachit said, Desmoulins was a violent person, but it is not proved that he armed any weapon to hurt anyone. Even the source shown over here proves that Maximilien Robespierre and Desmoulins were school friends, but yet he was against his idea of violence because violent doesn't mean violence. Moreover, Indian freedom fighter who took armed weapon first tried non-violence, but the thing is they were lacked of unity with the citizens of India, whereas Mahatma Gandhi focused on unity, non-violence and truth to gain the freedom and liberty, as he thought that the violence is a clumsy weapon which will increase hatred and bitterness among the people rather than solving the problem and will almost make it impossible to solve the problem in the future. What is your suggestion among the Robespierre who killed people of his club only?
So as per Sweta said, we can't say that Desmoulins was in favor of violence on the basis of just his little violent nature. It's a very common thing. And also Rachit, how will you counter that the freedom fighters who owned weapon, they did so because they lacked unity with the moderate leaders. And along all of these, what do you think about Mahatma Gandhi's view on violence? That violence can never solve any problem. So how can we achieve liberty through violence?
I want to ask Sweta, whom will you consider as violent? One who uses violence? Nah. According to WHO, any intentional physical force and threats against anyone is termed as violence. And the Smolens used that. That's why he was considered to be a man of violent manner. And even if you come back to India, according to Sweta, our violent freedom fighters lacked unity among themselves and also with the citizens. Then how was Subhash Chandra Bose able to convince Adolf Hitler and also Japan to help him free India? How was he able to establish Azad Hind Fauj? And if you take the scenario of Bhagat Singh too, Bhagat Singh decided to take the revenge of Lala Lajpat Rai's death, whom he had constant clashes with. So whenever the point of liberty and freedom came forward, our freedom fighters stayed united. Now I want to answer Sweta's question. I don't think Maximilian Robespierre was right, but it does not mean that I favor with the Smolens. As if I don't believe in the extreme left, then that does not mean that I believe in extreme right.
So Shweta, you have said that freedom fighters who armed weapon lacked unity. But as we saw from Rachit, it does not seem that those freedom fighters lacked unity from their side at all. So what do you say about it?
As Gandhi told the people of India to follow peaceful Quit India movement and they should not fear from being persecuted by Britishers. As to gain internal freedom and liberty, one has to follow the path of non-violence and truth. Subhash Chandra Bose was able to convenience Hitler and Japan as they wanted help from Asia in World War II, and Bose army would do it. Moreover, Hitler wrote a book in which he wrote that India should be ruled by Britain. So this means that Hitler wanted to rule the India, thus he accepted the proposal of Subhash Chandra Bose. Even the first black president of South Africa followed the Gandhian principle of non-violence and truth to fight apartheid. So all the resources shown over here prove that liberty and freedom can be achieved by non-violence, truth and peace.
As per Shweta, Subhash Chandra Bose was able to make relation with Japan and Hitler because of their interest, as they needed support. So Rachit, along with this, also answer my last question. What do you suggest about Nelson Mandela's use of Gandhian principle of peace in South Africa for attaining liberty, which, as for you, was not enough to attain the liberty?
I think that Sweta has forgotten that though Gandhiji wanted the Quit India movement to be peaceful, but it was one of the most violent protests for freedom in India from both the sides. Nelson Mandela also co-founded the militant Umkhonto we Sizwe in 1961 and also led to a sabotage campaign against the government in association with SACP, which was banned at that time. This proves that though initially committed to non-violence, almost everyone used a little violence.
After all this, we come to the most important question of our debate, whether liberty can be achieved through peace or we have to use violence in order to achieve it. But before getting to that, could you please tell me, for painting, whether only canvas is needed or only paints are needed? We can't say that only one of them is needed because we have to use both of them. In the same way, both peace and violence are important in order to achieve the liberty as per the condition. Because if you talk about our Indian freedom fighters who took up the arms to free ourselves, it was not like that they were interested in taking up the arms and choosing the path of violence. It was the demand of the condition. In the same way, 100% violence is also incorrect. Because if we talk about Maximilian Robespierre, he killed a lot of people and even the members of his own club on the name of attaining liberty by violence. So 100% violence means terror. So we come up with the conclusion that if we have to attain the liberty, then both peace and violence are needed to be used in as per the circumstances. I would like to thank Rachit and Sweta for joining us. Now we come to the end of our debate. Thank you. How was our debate? Was it satisfying? Hope you liked it. I and my team members Rachit Raj and Sweta Kumari tried to give our best here. At last, I would like to thank our school management for giving us this opportunity, and also once again Danish sir for giving us this interesting and innovating idea. Bye.